Shalom Akim. First off, start by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Do a quick little lesson today, impromptu, through the Spirit. I'm not going to be mentioning many scriptures, but it's going to be a video about health, because a lot of Akim and Akwat out there need to really take care of your health right now. It's very imperative during these times, you know, because we're living at a time where Esau perverts everything. But we just got to be more vigilant, man. So I'm going to bring out one precept, and I'm going to keep it rolling, and Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. So Genesis 1:29, and Yahweh said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed, to you shall be for meat." So Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, he gave us everything that we needed here, but you know, we not only neglected things throughout the years, but we also perverted them. You know, you got things like GMO, genetically modified organisms, that they're not the same molecular structure than what they once were in the past. You know, and it has an effect on your body, the way it processes it, man. You know, your body is not able to handle something that's sprayed with so many pesticides. It's just bred to look a certain way and to have a certain structure to it. That's why it's very important to clean your produce, you know, and try to shop organic. But even in this day that we're living in, organic ain't even organic, you know. So put some apple cider vinegar and some baking soda just to get a little bit of that pesticide out of the way, you know, before you eat your produce, because that's very important. You know, do not be eating your fruits and vegetables just straight up right out of the store. I see a lot of people before, even myself, would just pick shitty area right now. But a lot of even including myself back then, we would put we would just eat the produce straight up, man. It ain't good, man. It's not how you're supposed to do it. So that's first thing, man, you know. And second thing, man, is to definitely make sure you're hydrated. Very, very important. You want to make sure that you're having about a gallon of water a day, and you want to be drinking spring water. Don't be drinking no distilled water that they sell in the store in the plastic jugs, you know, that you take to the gym or whatever. Don't be drinking that, man. Don't be drinking no purified water. That's not good. You want spring water. That's the most natural type of water. It comes from the springs. It's just cleaner for your body. It absorbs it better. It absorbs the water better in your body. Because you see things like Dasani and Nestle, they have all these additives to it and these extra salts that are added. Why do you need that? You know, it makes you more thirstier. And not to mention, a lot of them are BPA plastic bottles that leach into your system. And we can't control everything, you know. A lot of the stuff, even our produce, comes in plastic or whatnot, but we could try to move it into a glass container. You know, you keep the water in the car for a little bit. When you go inside, it heats up and it seeps in, and that has an effect on, you know, testosterone, and it messes up your hormones. So you gotta be very watchful for that. Don't be drinking this conventional water. You want to try to go for the green spring water bottle, and I believe they sell the spring water in a gallon at the stores for like $1.50. So it ain't too bad. You just gotta look. Another thing too is really stay away from these processed and refined carbohydrates. You know, you got things like the potato bread and the white bread that we're so used to having with sandwiches, and you know, it's just not good for your body. It stores a different way. These carbohydrates store a different way than good bread made with proper flour and proper wheat and those ingredients. This stuff, dude, you don't even know what's in it, man. Even the microplastics inside this bread, very, very bad for you. And this is why you're getting puffed up and fat and you're full of inflammation, you know? Us Israelites back then, man, we were used to eating bread on the diet, but it's not the same as it was before. So if you have the possibility to make your own bread, do so. You know, you got a woman, make some bread, man. It ain't too hard. You know, you have a daughter, you can put her to work with that. But even then, you know, you want a quick bread, make some chickpea flour. Get some chickpea flour at the store. You can get it at any store, even those health food stores. And they even sell a 40-pound bag for about $50, and that can make you months worth of meals. And I can just make that up into like a pancake batter, put some herbs on there, man, and you're good to go. You know, you have bread that way. And there's a lot of different methods, you know, because things are contaminated nowadays, and not to mention with the carbs, you know, a lot of these desserts and sweets that they sell at the convenience store, you know, the Twinkies and these like little snacks, like you want to have a cheat, you want to have a little snack, don't be having none of that, man. You know, get something that you know is made with real sugar, you know, not no bleached white sugar that we're used to having. That's not good for you, man. That's what causes diabetes right there. You know, you want to have good sugar, stevia, coconut sugar, honey. You know, you don't want to have that other stuff, man. It's not good. It stores a different way in your body, and it causes disease later on. You know, it's not natural. So that's why we're getting sick. That's why they get the C. It's because of that. It causes a breeding ground for your cells to be able to, you know, they love that. The cells love to be in that sort of environment, the tumor cells, and that's how shit grows. So be very careful, Hakim. Very careful. You want to have some fruit? That's good, man. You can have as much fruit as you want. You're good to go. That's fruit sugar. Way different. You know, that comes from the sun, and just processing the body in a way different manner. A secondary thing, you want to make sure you're having the right salt too, because you want to have salt for hydration. You don't want to have all this crazy salt from the ramen. That's not the right. That's like the table salt right there, and that's not good. You want Celtic sea salt, man. That's natural. It doesn't have a lot of heavy metals. Be careful for the Himalayan salt, man, because they use TNT to blow that shit up, you know, and it has radiation onto it. Very important. With that being said, radiation, stay away from the microwaves, man. Stay far away from the microwaves, man. You know, you got an air fryer, use an air fryer. It ain't too bad, but don't be using them damn microwaves, man. That shit's gonna kill you. You want a quick snack or whatever, cook it on the pan. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel way different. Even speaking about that with the radiation, you know, your cell phone, get a EMF protected phone case. I myself was touching the phone case. All right, I was touching the phone without the phone case, and I noticed my hand was feeling, it was falling asleep. I was like, what is this shit? Because Esau, he pumps up the freaking radiation, man, on the phone, the wavelengths. Stay away from that shit, man. If you have the possibility to get an EMF phone protector, you can get on Amazon. I am telling you, man, it works wonders. I try my best to keep the phone as far away from me as possible while I'm sleeping. Sometimes I can't help it. I gotta set an alarm or whatever. But I do my best to keep it away from me, and I shut off the Wi-Fi. You know, because that Wi-Fi emits radio frequencies, and it be messing up with your brain and the way that you sleep and the way that you process. You know, you're supposed to get dreams. The spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, and Esau, he tries to hinder you with that. It fries your pineal gland. You know, it fries your hormones. So just be careful with that. And another thing I wanted to mention, which I might be forgetting about. Shit, it comes to me in the spirit. Yeah, stay away from all this processed stuff. You want to be keeping it simple, man. Keep it simple. Keep a biblical diet, man. Okay. Don't be having stuff with canola oil, with rapeseed oil, with vegetable oil, with corn oil, because the corn right now is tainted, bro. You see, it's this big, juicy corn. It's modified and shit. It's not the same corn that was originally bred. If you look at the first corn that was bred, it looks completely different. And you even see it, man, in Mexico, Ishikar, they're banning the GMO corn, man, because they know Esau's trying to taint their people with it. You don't even process it the right way, man. It comes all right out, man. That's how you know it's some fake shit. So definitely stay away from corn oil, man. And it's found in a lot of products, a lot of them Doritos or Frito-Lay products, man. Stay away from that shit, man. You know, really, really take a look and see, man. Is this highly inflammatory oil? Canola oil, safflower, sunflower oil. What else? I guess on the top of my head. And soy. Soy messes up your hormones. It's estrogenic. It makes you grow titties and shit. Stay away from that shit, man. Instead, you want olive oil. Okay. Olive oil, part of the Mediterranean olive oil, in a nice glass, man, cold pressed, preferably, you know, virgin olive oil. Okay, you want to have coconut oil is very good. You You want to have avocado oil, okay? Grapeseed oil is good too, but you know, stick with the olive oil, man. Olive oil, I think, to me, is the best one, but they're all good. You know, those are natural oils. Those are oils that have been there before. You want to have things like dates. Dates are very good for sugar, man. Very good. Dates, cook with dates. Date sugar is very good as well as honey. You want to have that honey. That Manuka honey is very good for your body. There's a lot of potassium in dates. There's a lot of good benefits by having the dates. You know, you look in the Bible, it talks about it. Dates, honey, milk. You don't want that milk that's, you know, it's hard to find raw milk, but, you know, if you can't find raw milk, get it. You know, don't be getting these cheeses that have all sorts of additives in it. Keep it simple, man. I'm telling you, keep it simple. Your body's gonna notice that, because the more shit you put in your body, it inflames your gut, and you're not thinking right, man. You're overconsumed, you're bloated, you got inflammation, you just feel more puffed up, man. And it shows. It shows. You don't feel the same, man. Because the body's the system. You gotta really introspect whatever you're putting in your body. You can't just keep on consuming. Okay? Because it's gonna inflame your body. Your body's gonna get excess with mucus, and it's gonna just puff yourself up. You know, you need to have mucus to lubricate the body and whatnot, but at the same time, you don't want too much, because that's why it clogs you up. You got a sinus, you got a headache, all that shit. So sometimes you gotta go on a fast. You gotta, you know, purge all that shit out. You know, it even says that if you fast for like 3 days, you could reset your whole system, and even more, you know, you could do wonders, man, spiritually and physically. So, you know, that's something you got to take between Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because everybody's different. Some people have medical issues and stuff. You know, I'm not over here telling everybody to fast for weeks on end, you know. But if you're new to it, you're not used to fasting, take it slow for sure, you know. Because I ain't no doctor here, but sometimes you could do it with the water, sometimes you could do it dry. But you will see, man, you feel a lot lighter afterwards, man. It says in the book of Matthew 17:21, roughly paraphrasing, if I'm not mistaken, only certain things can come out through prayer and fasting. So you might have some deeply rooted strongholds that you've been trying to get rid of, some thought patterns that are unclean, man. Go on a fast. Your body's going to notice it, man. Your thoughts are reflected by what you eat. You're eating all this heavy shit, you're not going to be able to think right, man, in the spirit. Okay? We've been gifted this temple to the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We got to use it to our fullest advantage, because guess what? It ain't our body, it's His. So it's good to indulge a little bit every once in a while, and you know, not saying, you know, keep it strict all the time. Okay, enjoy your portion, but at the same time, there's only so much pleasure you could possibly get, man. You gotta really like keep it simple and take care of your body, because you only have you don't want to get in a situation where you go and get medical bills and you're relying on Esau, man. Use the herbs that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is giving you, man. He's giving you a lot of herbs. And I can go very in depth to it, but I'm in an impromptu lesson right now, so I can't really show you the herbs. But one last thing I wanted to mention too, if some of you guys have some ailments that, you know, you've been dealing with for a very long time, and you've tried a lot of things, try to look at the Dr. Sebi alkaline diet, you know. Not everything on there is you know, correct. I mean, he doesn't speak about anything that, from my understanding, is unclean biblically. You know, he definitely talks about pork being parasitic, and we should never eat pork, man. If you're on here and you have not gone away from pork, man, get away from that shit. It's gonna destroy you. But try to look at the alkaline-based diet. Very, very important. And that actually causes your body to be in an alkaline state instead of an acidic state. Because when you're acidic, inflammation builds up, man, and it's a shit show. So look into that. And yeah, man, just a couple things. Make sure you're hydrating. Make sure you're staying away from all these processed sugars and processed carbs. Make your own stuff, okay? Use good cooking oils, okay? Use proper grains like farro, quinoa, wild rice. Don't be using the bleach rice. And definitely hydrate and get a bottle of water, a gallon of water, okay? Because Yahweh Sabarak told you so, man, you know? And einkorn flour as well is very good for cooking. I wanted to mention that, but yeah, Lord willing, you found that lesson edifying. This is a quick impromptu to the spirit, and I might do another one later on, talking about some other things that come to my head through the spirit. But with that being said, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Kakadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and shalom to the hopeful elect.